All right, thanks everybody for coming again today to our Beginners 5K, Couch 5K. And I just wanted to properly introduce Kent Schott. He is our Performance Enhancement Plus Coordinator located at Sports Plus Fitness. And he lives here in Jackson, originally from Missouri. So I always like to see Missouri folks. And his wife, Tracy, and 2 kids. So thank you.
All right. Everybody hear me okay? I think that's pretty loud, isn't it? All right. Good morning. Sure. Test, test. Good morning. All right, good. Just want to make sure everybody's awake. I tend to pull from the back row when I do demonstrations, so you might want to move closer to the front. But this is going to be interactive. We're going to try to get some people involved, possibly. We'll see how it goes. When I was asked to do this, they told me it was for beginners. Looking out at the crowd, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of beginners, to be honest with you. Look like a lot of people in pretty good shape, so that's good. But thanks, I'll take that. Just don't tell my wife. My name's Kent Schott. Like she said, I'm an athletic trainer, certified weight trainer, and youth conditioning specialist. As an athletic trainer, I take care of sports injuries for the athletes. As a certified weight trainer and youth conditioning specialist, I try to make athletes better. Okay, so when they asked me to talk to beginners, I haven't had a lot of experience with this, but sitting back trying to think of how I'm going to start this and what I'm going to talk about, I went across it with my wife last night a little bit and asked her if I should start with a joke, and I gave her the joke, and she really made me think that I wasn't funny. So I decided not to do that joke. But if I were going to do the joke, it would start out something like this. It would be 2 guys walked into a bar. The third one ducked and did pull-ups. All right, he grabbed the bar. All right, kind of goes into your head a little bit. You got to think about it. It's a bar. 2 guys walked into a bar. All right. So, what did the third guy do? He took advantage of something given to him. He took advantage. He seized the moment. We've all heard of seize the day. I think so, and most people have. Carpe diem. I don't know if I say it right. It's carpe diem. Seize the day. You know, when I was in Missouri when this happened, but I saw this this sign that said Carpe Manana, and I had to ask what it was because I don't speak Latin nor Spanish, and it was seize tomorrow, and I thought, seize tomorrow, wow, what does that mean? I've heard of seize the day, seize the moment, seize tomorrow. That's procrastinating. And I think we're all born procrastinators. Some people find the momentum and get motivated a little bit more than others. Some people are procrastinators all the time. Some people are procrastinators, and as they get motivated, they do really well and become better. So I think we have to know what category we're in. And I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a procrastinator that once I'm motivated, I do very well. But if we can get out of that procrastination, I think it's very important. But the more I thought about seize tomorrow, carpe manana, the more I thought about it, it's more tomorrow is coming fast. Every day, tomorrow is coming at us faster. And we've got to seize that moment. We've got to seize tomorrow before it becomes yesterday. And I think that's something to really think about when we're talking about exercise, because it's so easy to say, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to start walking tomorrow. I'm going to start running tomorrow. I'm going to start lifting weights tomorrow. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. It's easy to do, but we have to seize tomorrow before today gets here, because tomorrow is today, and it will be yesterday if we're not careful. So we want to make sure that yesterday doesn't pass us by, because the more yesterdays that pass us by, the less likely we are to get started. Okay? So, talking about that, we're going to talk a little bit about sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle. Everybody know what sedentary is? And my handwriting is horrible. I hope y'all can read it. We got different. I'm going to put it in different categories. Okay. We got category 1, 2, and 3. Sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle simply means we don't do much. We sit a lot. Okay? Sitting on the couch. We don't exercise. I'm putting it in different categories. First category is, can you read this? No exercise at work or home. All right? No exercise at work, at home. That means we're just sitting all the time. Somebody that, when I say no exercise at work, somebody that may sit in the office. I know a lot of office workers that do a lot of walking, but there are some jobs that you're at a computer a lot and you're just sitting. Then you go home and you sit for more time. That puts us in a very strong sedentary lifestyle. The second one, and there's no background to this information. This is strictly my own thoughts. But the second one is no exercise at home, but we walk a lot at work. All right. So, who could we put in that category? And I think, and obviously not everybody, and there may not be anybody in here that does this, but knowing some nurses and knowing what nurses do, they're walking a lot at work. They're constantly walking the floors. Okay. They might get home and sit on the couch. Still puts them in a bit of a sedentary lifestyle, and we want to try to avoid that sitting on the couch. And then we have shoppers. All right? They don't work a lot, or they don't walk a lot at work. They don't walk a lot at home, but when they go shopping, they can walk the mall. And I dated someone like that can walk the mall forever and not get tired. These same people might drive around the parking lot for 10 minutes looking for the closest parking spot. That kind of puts you in the sedentary lifestyle. So, what do we do to avoid this? What do we do right here? Carpe manana. We seize tomorrow. We seize the moment today. Okay? And that's what you all are doing today. So I think everybody should give themselves a hand for starting today, seizing tomorrow. So do that. All right. I think it's very important to understand that what we do today is very important for our lifestyle and what we're going to do tomorrow. And when we give each other a hand, the reason I did that is to show and have that motivation. We're going to help us motivate each other, okay? And that's something that I think is very important. So when we leave here and you see somebody, ask them tomorrow, did you seize today? And hopefully they will say yes, okay? All right. So, first step. Wow. Get that one. First step. We start walking, okay? We're here. This is the first step. But then how do we go past that first step? We got to start walking. If we're true beginners, we can't just start. And some of us may be beginners that haven't worked out for 5 years. Beginners that haven't worked out for 10 years. And what you can't do is think, 5 years ago, I used to run 5 miles a day. I used to lift weights, do 300-pound squats, and go and start with what you used to do. Because what's going to happen if you do that? You won't be back tomorrow because your body isn't able to do that. So we have to start out. We're going to start out slow, okay? And we're going to walk. And then we're going to get from couch to 5K by doing this. Tiffany, did we hand these out? We have these handed out? I looked across this, and I think this is a great guideline. I think it's a great guideline to get you started, to get you going in the right direction to be able to do a 5K. Okay? It looks like that? Okay. I think I have that one. That's all right, because I looked at both of them. Yeah. It looks like this? Kind of? No? Something similar? Close enough. All right. But it's basically the same information, right? Okay. So, great information. The only problem I had with this was if somebody is an absolute true beginner and never exercises. This still might be a little tough to start out with. And I think we'd be better off just strictly, instead of doing any jogging the first week, strictly walking. And increasing our walking, not just the 30-minute exercises that we go to the gym or we walk around here in the hospital. Everywhere we go, we increase our walking. And we all know, we've heard, take the stairs instead of the elevator or the escalator. Absolutely true. It all builds up. You know, I know a while back, and I've been doing this for a long time, I won't say how long, but it has been a long time. But I remember them telling me at one point, it doesn't build up. Your body can't build up like that. You have to do it all at once. You have to do at least 15 minutes for it to do any good. It builds up. It adds up throughout the day. And they found that they were wrong about that. It's still great to do at least 15 minutes cardio. I mean, that's what we want to build up on. And we want to build it to 30 minutes, absolutely. Or even longer sometimes. But if you can increase your walking, you will notice a difference in your lifestyle immediately. Just walking, okay? Then we start jogging, and then we run. It's kind of like the whole being born thing. You know, we didn't come out running, hopefully. We had to crawl, walk, then we jog, then we run. All right. So, any questions about what I've discussed right now? Anything at all? Because I want to kind of change pace a little bit and start talking about injuries that could be acquired when we start an activity, start exercising. And I think sometimes we get that small injury or that injury that slows us down, and we say, you know what? I'm going to wait until tomorrow and see if I'm better. Or I'm going to wait until next week and see if I'm better. And then next week gets around, I've got too much going on right now. All right? It's easy to do. So if we can avoid those injuries, it's much better off. If we can start tomorrow, start today or tomorrow, we're starting, we have to avoid the injuries. All right, so a few injuries that slow us down. First of all, let me just ask, what do you think is a big factor in not exercising, not going to the gym, not getting motivated? What do you think are some keys that really cause us to decide not to, other than time being an issue a lot of times? Any answers, any thoughts? Age? Okay. Tired? Okay. All right. Well, let me talk about both of those real quick. There's no age too good for exercise. Everybody benefits from exercise. It's our fountain of youth. If we exercise, we will stay younger. Tired. One reason we're tired is because we're not exercising. Okay? So we need to exercise a lot more. We'll be less tired. We'll sleep better at night. Okay? So, good answers. Some other things, going to the gym. Why do people not go to the gym a lot of times? Inconvenience, okay? Great answer. People look at them. You don't feel confident in your skin. You don't feel confident with your body. People look at you, and you're afraid of what other people are thinking. Number one rule when you go to the gym, nobody else matters. We're going to the gym for ourselves. We go to the gym for ourselves, we got to worry about ourselves. It's all about us. And you got to make yourselves understand that if I'm going to go to the gym, it's for me, and it's not for the guy beside me or the girl on the treadmill beside me. Okay? I mean, look at me. I teach people how to become better athletes. Do I look like a big, muscled-up athlete? No, I don't. I'm not going to be. All right? It's not my body type. When I go to the gym and I work out and I see some guys possibly on steroids, who knows, but 10 times bigger than me. It makes me feel really odd to be in there lifting weights with those guys, okay? But I always have to make it a point to think, this is about me, not about them. I don't care what they think. I'm going to think better of myself if I get in there and do it, okay? So, getting to the gym, very important. Great answer. Inconvenience, that was the other one. Good answer. Inconvenience, that's something that we're going to build on throughout this time. Tiffany and I decided that we're going to do more of these things and classes possibly, hopefully in the future. The classes are going to be because of inconvenience to get to the gym. They're going to be classes that teach you how to work out and exercise at home or in one of these rooms back here. We're going to be doing it. And you're going to be learning a lot of exercises that you can do on your own. So inconvenience won't be a factor, okay? All right, so injury, back to injury. Big cause for not working out. We start our first week. We haven't worked out in 5 years, and we start in and we have that first pain in our shins. We start running and we have that pain in our shins and we're like, I've got shin splints. Shin splints takes forever to get rid of. First off, chances are they're not shin splints, okay? There's a thing called, let me write it down. I like writing things because nobody can read my handwriting and it makes you look harder. All right. Some people call it DOMS. I call it DOMS because I think that O is very important, but it's delayed onset muscle soreness. Delayed onset muscle soreness. You're going to get it if you haven't worked out and you don't take the proper steps to avoiding it. You're going to get it. And it could be in your calves, it could be in your shins, it could be in your thighs. Whatever you're exercising, that's probably where you're going to get it. It's delayed onset muscle soreness, okay? A lot of times people get it in their shins and they think, I've got shin splints. Well, shin splints are a big factor in runners, and they do happen. Some things that we can do to avoid shin splints real quick, and then I'll go back to DOMS and talk about how we can avoid that. But some things to avoid shin splints, arch supports, good arch supports. The muscles in our shins go down and attach to the navicular bone inside, that's right at the arch. When that navicular bone collapses, because we've got a lot of impact, when we're running, the impact on our foot, arch collapses, and some people with high arches that collapse more are going to see this more, but those tendons that are attached there pull, stretch, and when they pull and stretch, the muscles that they're attached to are attached to the bone, and it pulls those muscles away from the bone, and sometimes we get avulsion fractures, stress fractures on the bone, or the muscle pulls away from the bone, and that's what shin splints actually are, okay? So, arch supports are great. Compression sleeves or socks can help because it helps hold those muscles in. It just feels a little better. So those are good things that we can use as well. Keeping our calves from getting too tight, our calf muscles, right here. All right. Those calf muscles get tight. There's so much going on in the lower leg, in the tibia region. There's so many blood vessels, muscles, tendons, nerves. When those muscles get tight, it starts squeezing. Okay, you can actually get what's called anterior compartment syndrome, which that's not likely to just come about just like that. There's more issues with it. But what that is just basically too much pressure around the nerves and arteries in the anterior compartment, which is right here. All right, so, but if we keep those calves loosened up and not tightening up so much, that can help a lot of stress around the shins, okay? So, you know, when I'm talking to runners, that's the biggest complaint, are feet and shins, okay? Thighs and knees hurt, hips hurt sometimes. You can get runner's hip, but the shins are the number one thing that really slow down runners. And a lot of times it's just shoes, shoe inserts. If you have old pair of shoes and you just want to get some new inserts, that can help support the arch. or some compression sleeves can help as well. Okay? So back to DOMS. All right, delayed onset muscle soreness. This is something very simple, and it's a great tool to have. And do we sell these? Do we know? Do they sell them at the medical? Okay. I'm a big supporter of these. In fact, the schools that I cover generally have these because they're the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. There's so much you can do on it. You can give yourself a deep massage, okay? Delayed onset muscle soreness. What's good for it? A deep massage. What do we do when we get a deep massage? We facilitate blood flow. When we facilitate blood flow, it helps with the muscles, helps get rid of the soreness, all right? So we can do it before we exercise. We won't even get that maybe, okay? Or if we do get it, we do it after. But hopefully we don't get the soreness. But it's very simple. I'm just going to give you a few. Anybody want in the back row? Anybody? No? All right. I'll go ahead and do it if y'all can see me. All right. What I'm going to do is just work on my calf muscle, and I'm just holding my weight up on the upper body, and I'm just rolling from my heel to my knee, getting that all worked out, and just doing that for a few minutes, doing both. You can do it on any muscle you want. You can do the piriformis muscle. Anybody familiar with the piriformis muscle? It causes some SI issues sometimes. It can cause lower back issues. Piriformis muscle right here in the lower, or the side of your, trying to think of a good word for that. What is that? We're just going to say butt. I'm sorry. I couldn't come up with the other word. My kids, we don't let them say that, so I forgot what I tell them to say. But anyway, so you're just you can fold your foot over your knee, and we're just going to roll right on that piriformis. And you talk about feeling good. This feels good, and it gets rid of soreness quick. Even if you probably don't know you're sore until you do this, and you'll be wanting to do it all the time. Trust me. So you can do your hamstrings. You can do it up on your hamstrings. You can do your quads. There's so much you can do with this. All right, so if we don't want to do that, $1.25, took it out of my little girl's kitchen. She doesn't know it yet, but you can just roll those muscles out. Okay? Roll them out. Yes? 5 minutes? Oh, wow. Man, I started talking too much about everything. Thank you. All right, so real quick. So we got that. Kind of help with DOMS. I want to talk about stretching. We already talked about proper shoes and inserts, so we're almost done. So that's good. Stretching. We got active stretching, dynamic stretching. We got static stretching, dynamic stretching. Dynamic is more active. Static stretching is when we hold a stretch for 10, 20, 30 seconds. We all been taught how to static stretch growing up. Very important that we static stretch. It does help with this. But before we work out, we need to prepare the muscles to do what they're going to do, and we need to do some dynamic stretching. Okay? It's okay if you do some static stretching. If you're a sprinter, I tell them not to do static stretching because studies have suggested that it decreases power output by 20%. I don't think we're really worried about decreasing our power output. We need to work on not having soreness. So static stretching is okay, but dynamic stretching, just a few exercises to show you. Dynamic stretch would be stretching with movement, okay? So I'm stretching as I move, preparing the muscles to do what they're going to do. Muscles when we're running, we don't hold muscles in a stretched position. We never stay in a stretched position while we're running. So we're not really preparing those muscles to do what they need to do. We need to stretch them while we're moving, okay? So to get the front, the quads, we just grab a hold as we're moving and stretch up. And it's not a holding, we're just walking as we're doing it. That's a dynamic stretch, and we can do get the inside muscles, we can do side lunges, both directions, okay? Anything you can do to get those muscles involved and get blood flowing to those muscles and get them prepared to do what they need to do. All right, so we're looking at good time right here. Any questions on anything? Yes? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, the foam roller? Sorry, I should have told you the name of it, huh? Foam roller. It's just a foam roller, and you can get different sizes. I actually bought this at Essex. A little plug for Essex. So I was just walking through there and saw that, and I liked it. So you can get them at different places, I think. Thank you. Yes, if you can't come up with one of these or you don't want to spend the money, they're pretty inexpensive. I think this is usually between $12 and $20. Not bad if it helps you not have pain. But if you can't find something, a semi-deflated ball or not fully inflated volleyball, soccer ball, basketball, you can do the same things. The only problem with one of those is keeping your balance. You got to hold your balance a lot better on those. But they do the same thing, and they work great, and you can definitely use that. If you have a small area or a small muscle, you can use a smaller ball, a tennis ball, or a tennis ball sometimes is a little too hard, but it works great on your back muscles, the paraspinals up your spine. 2 tennis balls, if you have some back pain, lay on those, and it's like getting trigger point massage. But you can use racket balls, different things like that. So thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that. So any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Right. Well, and that's a good question, and that could be a whole nother topic to talk about because, I believe that Reebok and Asics are good shoes. They tend to have pretty good support. But I'll be honest with you, you can pay $120 for a pair of shoes, and I would take that insert out and throw it away and go to even Walmart and buy Dr. Scholl's and put them in there because I don't care how much you pay for a pair of shoes, the inserts are horrible. They just don't have any support. And I mean, you pull them out and they're paper thin. You can almost see through them. Toss them and go get you some better ones. And you can go to there's a place in Memphis that actually, I forgot what it's called, some Fleet Feet. It is good. Mm-hmm. Right. And some people have told me, I've sent some athletes that direction because I just don't have the right answer for them. I don't do that sort of thing. We do inserts when we will make inserts for them a lot of times, but if they're wanting different shoes, then I do send them that way. A lot of them said that they're the same shoes at Dick's, so they go there and spend the money on finding out what shoes, and they're a little cheaper at Dick's a lot of times, so they go to Dick's and buy them. So, I mean, there's good ways of finding good shoes, and you really just have to do your homework and find what's best. But the Asics seem to be pretty good support. But then I just pull out the inserts and get rid of those. There's not much to them. So any other questions? Great questions. Hopefully I pushed you all in the right direction. I think it's great that this many people are here. I hope that we can get more people involved. I think it's a great thing what the hospital's doing. I mean, it's so amazing that we work for a place that cares about us, and I think they really do. And we've got to get on board and care about ourselves. So thank you all.
Thanks, Kent. I appreciate
I'll turn that off.
Talk myself. Thanks, guys, for coming, and this was great interaction. I appreciate y'all questions, and if you still have more questions, please feel free to fill out a form and just leave it, and we'll try to address it, if not on next class, but as well as online. Again, if you're interested in these products or just have questions for him, please leave your name down that you're interested, and we'll try to get in contact with you and let you know about the price for the foam roll. Also, again, just want to thank you for coming. And also, Katie Chandler wants to talk to y'all about your Couch 5K plan, but the registration for that, because y'all came and we want you to run with us. So, Katie?
Right here, this one. You talking about people that are getting together and doing it together? I don't know. That's a good question.
We're going to work on that. I think we probably have some opportunity. Can you talk just a second about hydration?
Oh man, I had that written down. I just started. I got on a soapbox and forgot about some things. Hydration, yeah, absolutely, and it was in my notes. I just looked past it. We got to hydrate. I mean, I think everybody knows that. Dehydration is the #1 cause for minor injuries and some not so minor injuries. All right, it can cause sprains, strains, heat illnesses. You know, when you're running and you get hot and you start dehydrating, your body can shut down. It can cause organs to shut down. There's so much that can happen with dehydration. We really have to stay hydrated. So water, you know, and that was a thing with the injuries that I was going to talk about. But water is so important. We've got to keep water in our body. And I get this a lot. You know, how much water should I drink? How much water should I drink a day? You know, there's so many. There's different things that you can do. You can take your body weight. There's just different forms or programs that you can punch in and tell you how much you need to. I don't think anybody can really tell you how much. I think you are the one that has to see that. And without being too graphic, the only way you can really tell is by looking at your urine. If your urine is dark, you're dehydrated. If your urine is clear, you're drinking enough water. So keep an eye on that and consult with your physician as well. But just keep an eye on that. If it's mellow yellow looking, put water in your body. And here's the other thing. We really got to cut back on sugars and sugar intakes. You know, sodas, sweet teas, and those things. You know, because most of those are diuretics. When we take in a lot of caffeine, it's diuretic, makes us pee more. If we pee more, what's going to happen? And we're sweating at the same time. We're going to dehydrate. We got to be putting water in our body. Okay. And I'm not going to give you 8 glasses a day number. It's up to you to figure it out and do it. Okay.
Do you recommend like water or something like a Gatorade
post-workout? Post-workout, I think water is very essential. You have to have water. Gatorade is okay to replenish, you know, some of the electrolytes. I don't think it's a bad thing. But I think water is the #1 thing that we need to be drinking. And then some Gatorade if you feel like you want to get some electrolytes in you. More water than Gatorade, though. You know, if you want to have a small Gatorade and a one of these, water and a small Gatorade with it, that's not a bad idea. Or water down your Gatorade. There's a lot of sugar in Gatorade even. We need to watch the sugar intake. So Gatorade's all right. It's not the best thing ever, like they sell it. Okay, so it does have electrolytes, and we do need to replenish electrolytes, but water is the key. Water is the key. All right, is that all right? Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kent. I know I learned a lot. And I think that's a great question. Are we going to run together? Are there beginners groups? And I think this is our beginners group. And, you know, for me, because I encourage this event, I started running about 3 weeks ago with the Couch to 5K. And I told Kent, I actually enjoyed it last night. And, you know, that's unusual for me because I'm a beginner again. I have said I ran many, many years ago, probably 20, and have just now gotten back into it. So what I want us to do is just what he said, encourage one another. Watch for us. We've got your registration information, so watch for us to begin sending out times that we're going to run together. We may not run together every week, but I'd like for us every couple of weeks meet after work, do a 20-minute run together just to say, you know, how we doing, and just keep each other encouraged. The information he gave out today is wonderful for any beginner, and we may have people in the room that don't want to do the Couch to 5K, but if you do, this is the kickoff for that. We wanted to start Couch to 5K with a seminar to teach us how to get started, and then with the registration list that we have today, we're going to send out some more opportunities that Kent might just meet with us, maybe for a lunch and learn time, and we can start asking him questions and say, you know, I've done it 2 weeks now. What about this? I've done it a month now. What about this? And for him to train us, if you will, a little bit along as we go. We have scheduled a 5K, which it will be, you should have gotten a form. It'll be April the 26th, which is a Thursday evening And it's far enough away that if you start now with your Couch to 5K program that we held up, you should be ready for that. It is a run walk. It is beginners. If you know, we're not looking for, I know Lisa Pierce, she runs a lot. Vicki Lake runs a lot. There's a lot of people here that run a lot. They're not welcome unless they're going to stand on the street corner and go, woo, good job. They're going to be our water hander outers. This is truly for beginners or beginner-againers. To get back into it. And so, you know, we're looking for our best time, maybe to be 30 minutes or so, but we're going to be among ourselves. So those people who are going to come run this 5K run walk are going to be just like me, just like you, people that just 10 weeks before sat in this seminar and just began. And so it's going to be about finishing more than about winning. So we're looking forward to that. If you're interested, we will have T-shirts and all that. It is going to be set up like a regular 5K run walk. There's a registration fee. Here's the form. We do need to have that back. And then also, where's Charlene Revere? We live and die by legal. And so they have made this wonderful form that protects us all from one another. So we do have to have this form. It just, you know, says that you're exercising on your own free will, and also the consent to photograph is in there. We're not going to splash your picture of you, you know, sweating with your hair in a ponytail everywhere, but we do want to we'll probably take pictures like they do at every run walk, and let you be able to purchase that if you want a picture of yourself finishing your first ever race. And so we will take some pictures, but we promise we won't splash them everywhere. They will not be on YouTube. But anyway, we do have to have that. So these two forms, again, watch for us to start meeting some and look around the room, see who's here, get some names, and y'all start your own little groups. You know, if you have somebody in your work area that wants to start walking or running with you, get them to do that as well. So, but watch for us. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That is, Couch to 5K is something that you can go online and look up, and there's information there and training information there, and we just downloaded it. We just pulled it out to an Excel file, and so we could hand it to you today. But encourage you to go to the website, Couch to 5K, and look up their additional information there and download the app if you do have an iPhone. So, all right, you've got a long time before you have to turn that in, but we did want to tell you that this is the kickoff to a run walk if you'd like to participate, and we hope that you will. So, thank you.